Today we're going to talk about writing, and specifically we're going to look at a writing instrument. In the Bible it tells us 80 times it is written. Stick around, let's learn a little bit, and let's take a look at a wonderful pen. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around. In the Bible, if you search the exact phrase "it is written," you will find that that phrase is listed 80 times. And in fact, when Paul is writing to Timothy in chapter 4, I believe it's down about verse 12, Paul requested his coat be brought to him, his scrolls, and also his parchment. In other words, he wanted to be sure to be able to read what had already been written, and he wanted to be able to write and record some things that were going on at the time. Writing has been a way throughout the course of history to be able to preserve things that are going on, to pass down from generation to generation. If you look at the science, it tells us that writing something down helps commit it to our memory better. It is just a great way to learn. If you learn it orally and then you write it down, it helps commit it better. Over and over throughout history, we see that writing is a good thing to do. I love to write. Part of what I do as a pastor is prepare sermons, and yes, I do take a digital format of that to the pulpit with me through the Logos software. I'll prepare my sermon in there for the final format, and that's what I take to the pulpit with me. But prior to doing that, what I typically do is I'll use sheet upon sheet of paper, and I'll manually write notes and thoughts that come to me, and it helps put that into my mind in a pretty solid format, so that I can preach a little more smoothly and have a better presentation. Now, one of the things that I love to write with is a fountain pen. Now, the story behind that, probably about 12, 13, 14 years ago, somewhere in that neighborhood, I'm thinking about 13, my oldest son stumbled across this fountain pen community. And he got interested, engaged in that community, and he started really getting into fountain pens. He told me about them, like, hey, it sounds pretty neat. I like the idea of not having to throw away a pen, of finding a pen that really fits and is comfortable to you, and you can just keep refilling it. And so I bought a Pilot Metropolitan. It's a relatively inexpensive pen. I have since given that pen away. I think I may purchase another one just for the sake of doing a video about it. But it sent me down this rabbit hole. To the point that now I have, I think, 24 different fountain pens, and I've got some really expensive ones. I got some inexpensive ones. I have come to love fountain pens, and today that's what I'm going to look at, is a fountain pen. So I will show you exactly what it is. Now, this is not a new unboxing. I have had this pen since 2018, 19, 20, probably about 18 or 19. Received some gift certificates for a pen and ink and paper store, and purchased this pen as a Christmas gift through those gift cards. The pen that we're going to look at today is a Pilot Custom 74. This pen is a phenomenal pen, though the packaging for it, and I'm going to tell you all about it, and I will get you some videos up and some still pictures. It is a twist cap. It is a 14 karat gold nib that is rhodium plated. And it comes with a Con 70 converter, which is a push button that kind of acts like a syringe. So you depress this, and I'm not going to do it now, it would make a mess, but you depress this and it pulls the ink back up. One of the sites that I used to purchase declares it as a combination between a vacuum and a piston filler. It holds a great amount of ink. I have this particular one inked with Iroshizuku Amaido ink. This particular ink is Pilot's more high-end ink, I suppose you could say. Absolutely beautiful bottles. and you can see has a little place there, a little dip for the nib to drop into as you fill that pen up. Now a little bit about this Custom 74. This one is in a medium nib. You can get anywhere from an extra fine up to a bold, I believe, in this particular one. And this one has been out for some time. I do the particular ink that I do because of it matches the pen. No other reason. I tend to like to match my pens with both the company. So if I've got a Pilot pen, I'll try to use Pilot ink. You don't have to. It's not necessary. But I'll try to do that. And I'll try to get a color that fits that particular pen. This pen is actually one of my favorite. Out of the 24 that I have, I will typically come back to this pen and some other pen. So this is one that I keep inked almost all the time. It is not in a rotation like most of my other pens. It is just simply one of my go-to pens that I use almost every day, just for general notes and things like that around the house. Let me set up here. Let me give you a little bit of a writing sample with it, and then I'll come back and give you some information on maybe where you could get the pen, cost, what I would recommend, and that type of thing. So let's get set up, do a writing sample, and then we'll come back to here and talk about the pen and close out. Let's do a writing sample for you. We're going to look at the Gospel of John. We're going to look at chapter 20. We're going to look at verses 30 and 31. These verses show the importance of writing. There, what it says is, now Jesus did many other signs. And he did these in presence of the disciples pen is just smooth as butter. And it goes on to say he did these signs in the presence of the disciples, which are not written in this book. But he says, but these are written so that. In other words, everything that was written in the book of John was written so that you may believe. And what is it that they were written for that you to believe? That Jesus is the Christ. That he is the Son of God. And that by believing you may have life in his name. Friend, writing really is that important to history. It is recorded for you the one way that you can have eternal life. Now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of the disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. Friend, that is what it's all about. Beautiful pen. I love this Pilot. Beautiful pen. Love it. Writes smooth, smooth, smooth. And what better thing to write with it than scripture that points you that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that through him you might have life in his name. Let's get back over to the main camera and finish up. Okay, so there's your writing sample and just a Bible verse to show you exactly how important the writing is. So a little bit about this pen. When I purchased it, I'm wanting to say I give $140 for it. It has not escaped inflation. I do a lot of my fountain pen, ink, and paper shopping from a website called Goulet Pens. We have no partnership. This is not sponsored. It's just a company that has really good customer service, and they typically have a reasonable or fair price for their products, and they carry a good selection and good range. But Goulet Pens currently has this pen listed for $216. MSRP from Pilot is $270. I think maybe $216 is probably pretty fair. You can search around. There are other sites. Amazon has them as well, and there's a bunch of different colors. So you've got blue. You can do a blue stone, clear, forest green, grenadine, lavender fog, merlot, smoke, teal are the ones that Goulet has listed. And this pen is a perennial favorite. In fact, on Goulet, based on 84 reviews right now, it has a 4.61 out of 5. For many folks, they consider this a Grail pen or a really good pen that will just simply last a lifetime. I tend to agree. I love the way this pen writes. I love the nib on this pen. I love how inky it is. For me, just in every way, it checks every box on what you would want from a fountain pen. It just performs day after day, time after time. It is a resin body material. It's 1 3/4 rotations on the cap. I would like that to be a little less, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I do have the converter. I showed you the Con 70 converter. But for this particular pen, you can also use Pilot cartridges. It is a proprietary cartridge, proprietary converter. You can't just get any converter or cartridge. It must be a Pilot cartridge or Pilot converter. Through Goulet, they only list nib sizes as extra fine, fine, or medium. The length of the body without the cap is 4.9 inches. The cap is 2.6. Closed overall with the cap on is 5.6 inches. If you post, and what I mean by that, I typically do not write posted, and I did not in the demonstration, but posted would be like that, putting the cap on. I typically find it more comfortable for me to write unposted, and even as large as my hands are, this pen fits unposted. But if you do write posted, the overall length is going to go to 6.1 inches. The weight of the body and the cap together are going to be 22 grams. And with the converter, you get 1.23 milliliters of ink, which will go much further than what you think. A cartridge will give you 1.03 milliliters of ink. So would I recommend a pen like this? If you're just starting out, you have never used a fountain pen, you're not sure if you're going to like it or not, you don't write a lot, you just write small amounts, then no, I'm probably not going to recommend a $216 pen for you. If you do a lot of writing, you have tried fountain pens, and you have come to learn that this is something that you want to get a pen that is going to last you a lifetime. You want to get a pen that is just going to be comfortable, easy to refill, that's just going to work. Then yes, I would recommend that you would grab one of these Pilot Custom 74 pens. It is simply that good of a pen. You can't go wrong. You can get a variety of colors in the pen that just fit your lifestyle and what you like, and if you're doing professional or home, any of that. So if you already know that you like fountain pens, you want a pen that's going to last a lifetime, I'd certainly recommend this pen. I'm not going to give a scale on it, but it's definitely one of my favorites. It's one I use every day. On the other hand, if you don't know if you like fountain pens, you don't write a lot, maybe get a Metropolitan or something a little less expensive. Maybe the next pen I'll look at a lower end pen before we go to a higher end pen. But hopefully this gives you a little bit of information on one of the perennial favorites, the Pilot Custom 74. I've used mine for probably 8 or 9 years now, and it is just spectacular. One of my favorite pens. It is a go-to day after day. I pray everyone has a blessed day. Be sure to click subscribe and like. And at the end of the video here, let me tell you what we're going to do. If you help me get to 100 subscribers, you can go back to video 1. I will link it here. You can see what the channel is about. It's not always going to be about pens, but what we are going to be about is just everyday things in my life. Pens, watches, tech, different things. Part of my day-to-day life most often is firearms. I love going to the range. I do believe in the right to bear arms. So one of the things that I'm going to do when we hit 100 subscribers, I've got an old laptop, and I'm going to go out to the range. I'm going to set it up, and we're going to see, we're going to test its durability. We're going to test that durability probably with a Sig Sauer M17, and we'll probably test it with some Hornady Critical Duty, and we will see how well a laptop holds up. We'll make it fun. I'll take the cameras out to the range, may try to capture a little slow motion best we can, things like that. But help me get to 100 subscribers, and we'll go out and do that. Thank you for joining. We've got another video dropping in a couple of days, so be sure to hit subscribe and like. That video will be about premium Bibles. Thanks for joining in. Have a blessed day.